All right, babies, we have example 5 here. And this is the maker of Frumpies, the breakfast of Rugrats. How exciting. They want to improve their marketing, so they are going to consult you, the world famous statistician of Colleyville Heritage. You're welcome. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is part A. They first want to know what fraction of children ages 10 to 13 like their celery flavored cereal. I can't imagine that any of them would, but that's beside the point. So what kind of study should they perform? Well, if we just want to know how many of the kids eating the celery flavored cereal like it, well, we could do something really easy. We could just have an observational study. All right. Of course, we would need to choose students. We would need to choose children that eat this cereal, and then we need to determine whether or not they like it. So you could just observe them. You could easily observe their faces. Hey, do I like this? Am I going to keep eating it? Something like that. You could do that. Something we haven't discussed yet is you could conduct a survey, and that just means, hey, eat this. Do you like it? Yes or no? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So when we get to part B, they are thinking of introducing a new flavor, maple marshmallow Frumpies. Does not sound much better than the celery, but that's okay. And we want to know whether children will prefer the new flavor to the old one. So the old one in this case is going to be the celery flavored. So we've automatically got a comparative study set up, or a comparative experiment. So we are going to design a completely randomized experiment to investigate this question. Well, if you'll notice, we don't have a certain number of children, ages 10 to 13. So what I'm going to do is I am going to write out that my volunteers are children ages 10 to 13. Okay, and these are my volunteers. Well, their parents have probably volunteered them, but whatever. And then, since this is a completely randomized experiment, I am going to randomly, I'm going to randomly place them in a group that's going to receive the celery. So this is going to be group 1. I'm going to put half of the children here because I don't know how many there are. So half of the children will go here, and they will receive the treatment of celery flavored cereal. And then we have group 2, and this is half the children. And they're going to receive the treatment maple marshmallow. We're going to call it MM. Okay, so since I am designing a completely randomized experiment to investigate which one of these they prefer, notice that we want to know whether children will prefer the new flavor to the old one. So all we're going to do here is compare these two. We don't need a control group because I'm not determining how popular the new one is. I want to know which one is preferred, the old one or the new one. And so then, of course, I am going to compare levels of preference or the preferred cereal, anything like that. Just make sure you're using context. Okay, so that's going to be my answer to part B. Now on part C, they suspect the children who regularly watch the Saturday morning cartoon show starring Frump, the flying teenage warrior rabbit, and don't act like you don't watch it because I'm sure you do, okay? This warrior rabbit eats Frumpies in every episode. They think that the children watching this may respond differently to the new flavor. So how would you take that into account in your design? Okay, we have indicated in this problem that we believe there's a certain characteristic that may affect the results. That indicates that I need to do some blocking magic. All right, I'm going to run out of room here, so I'm going to have to erase this. I'm so sorry, babies. Bless your little buttons. All right, so I am going, let's switch colors. Let's get crazy. So I am going to look at part C now. If I think that these 10 to 13 age children are going to respond differently based on whether or not they're watching the show, I am going to write children here, 10 to 13 years. These are my volunteers. Oh, my handwriting, terrible. I'm going to block them. Remember, this is a conscious choice. This is a decision. It's not random. Okay, I am going to place the children who watch the show. And the other block will be children who do not watch the show. Now, within the children who watch it, now I'm going to randomly, so randomize. I'm going to randomly place half of them in group 1. So half of the children will be in group 1, and they will receive the treatment of the celery flavor, or it doesn't really say celery flavor. I guess we should have said old flavor, but whatever. Group 2, the other half of these particular children, the ones who watch the show. And this treatment, of course, is going to be the flavor cereal. And then, of course, we will compare preferred flavor with these kids. And then guess what? We're going to do the exact same thing with the other children. So we're going to randomize here. This will be group 3. Half of these children, they will get treatment. Oops, what am I doing? I'm losing control. I did not just erase all that. Grr. So treatment 1 will be the celery. You get the idea. I'm tired of writing this. Okay. So half of the children will get this treatment. Just exactly the same. Your blocks, you're going to conduct the experiment. However many blocks there are, that's how many times you would write this. So compare, preferred, that's where the sound comes from. Miss Griggs. I'm a winner. Okay, so there we go. Notice that we never bring these back together. That is a no-no. No, no, no. Okay, we don't do that. Once we block, we stay blocked. We compare this one up here. We compare these down here. We never bring them back together. Have a great time with your homework. Make good choices.